Hare Krishna. So you all can hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Ji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining. So today is the last session of our journey. I mean, it's temporary. I mean, we will cross our paths together again. So today is the last session. Yesterday we discussed about karma and the different types. We saw about karma, vikarma and akarma. And we also saw how karma is all the pious activities which are prescribed in the scriptures. Akarma, vikarma is all the things which are not described in the scriptures and which for which we will get sinful reaction and we have to suffer. And for karma we will get pious credits which we can enjoy. But both these karma and vikarma are cause of bondage. Why? Because these both karma, papa and punya are both on the bodily platform of life, that is on the material level. So then because this will cause bondage, so we saw the example of one example of a businessman who is on the vacation. So he has certain amount of money in his credit card. So he have worked very hard to earn that amount of money. Now he have got that money, he is spending that money. So he can spend the amount of money till the time he have credit in his account. Say for example he has some 10 lakh rupees, so he can only spend 10 lakh with his card. Once that 10 lakh is finished, what option he have to just come back home and again start to earn. And similarly we saw how the suffering of sinful reaction happens. So say for example somebody is in jail and he is condemned with certain kind of punishments. So that punishment will also not long for eternity. So say for example somebody is condemned for 6 months in jail. So he will be in jail for that 6 months, and again he will come back to from where he committed the crime, or he will come back to the normal life. Similarly, this both karma and vikarma are cause of bondage, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, if you do lot of punya, then you go to higher planetary system, from where you can enjoy your karmic reactions and then come back again in this material world, Martilok. And then again, if you do a lot of sinful activities, you go in lower planetary systems and suffer and come back. But this human form of life is more, and we also saw how this human form life is meant to cross over this cycle of repeated birth and death. Okay, and we also saw how there is a mall of 84 lakh species of life. So 84 lakhs option are available to us to enjoy our desires. So say for example, we also saw if somebody have desire to eat lot of meat, he will get most probably the body of a tiger. If somebody is more interested in exposing himself, so he will get more probably the body of a tree, because I mean because a tree don't wear any cloth. And if somebody is inclined more into sleeping, always sleeping, so this kind of persons will get body of a bear. And then we also saw how this how how to and then we also saw akarma. So what is akarma? Akarma is nothing but devotional service, because akarma is performed on the platform of the soul. Okay, so all the activities which we are doing on the platform of body is cause of bondage. Okay, so then we also saw how a karma can be performed. So what for a karma, what we have to do? We have to do everything for the pleasure of the Lord. So what we have to do, and we also have to do everything as a offering to the Lord, and that in that way we will get out of this cycle of karmic reaction. And what is the way to perform a karma is devotional service, which is none other than bhakti yoga. Okay, and then we also saw how chanting the holy name of the Lord is the simplest way of performing bhakti yoga in this Kali Yuga. So now we have understood that by doing performing bhakti yoga, we can cut the cycle of karmic reaction. So now we will go, and in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna have explained bhakti, Jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, ashtanga yoga, everything he have described very nicely, and also established which one is the best one. So based on that, we will move in our journey ahead. And today at the last, we will see what is the best type of yoga we can do to cut this cycle of repeated birth and death, to get out of this miseries of life. Because ultimately our journey started with the search of happiness. We are all searching happiness. So how to get that eternal happiness, that we will see in this concluding session. So till now we have explored, we have deep dive in various ideas and various philosophies and practical knowledge, through which we can judge ourselves what actually we want, which path we have to walk, and what will be the resultant result of the way the actions which we are performing. So as we saw yesterday, that man is owner of his own destiny. So we have our own destiny in our we have our own destiny with us, and we have to use our free will. So yesterday we also discussed about free will. So we have to use our free will on which path we want to go, whether we want to go on the path of repeated miseries, hatred, problems, and unhappiness, or we want to traverse and walk on the path which is full of eternity, bliss, and happiness. Okay, so now we will see, now we will explore, because Bhagavad Gita, because Krishna, because the whole Bhagavad Gita started with the lamentation of Arjuna, started with the problems of Arjuna. So similarly, all of us have problems. So Arjuna is nothing but our representative. So he's representing us. So he was also bewildered. He was also confused. He was also not able to concentrate his mind. He was also not able to decide what is good, what is bad. So all this problem was with Arjuna, and he was also not able to judge who is he. He was also forgetful of his identity, who actually he was, and because of that, the whole lamentation started. So Krishna in the first chapter it happened about Arjuna's lamentation, and next 17th chapter, Krishna just gave him all the philosophies and put everything in place. And at the end of the day, he said, after speaking everything, at the end he told, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham sarva papebhyo mokshasyami ma suchaha. That abandon all variety of religion and just surrender unto me. I will take care of all your sins and do not fear. Now, this surrendering of religion means doesn't mean Hindu, Muslim, or something else. No, surrendering of the religion means giving up the propensity to enjoy, giving up the ownership mentality, and thinking and understanding the fact that Lord is the owner, Lord is a proprietor, and Lord is the supreme enjoyer. And we are an understanding of constitutional position, that we are not the master, we are a spirit soul. And as we saw that the job of the part is to serve the whole, as if this hand, this finger, its job is to serve the body. Similarly, we are part and parcel of the Lord, so it's our constitutional job to serve the whole, the super soul. Okay, and that can be done by devotional service or performing bhakti yoga. So now we will explore the different option, Lord, what Lord prescribed to Arjuna, and what is the conclusion of all the scriptures, that what is the best way to approach the spirit, to get out of, to gain eternal happiness, to gain peace in life, to gain tranquility in life, to gain you know steadiness in life. Okay, and to control this mind which is wavering like anything. So Arjuna was also having a problem of controlling the mind. Yes, he told Krishna, Chanchala hi mana Krishna pramati vilvadradam tasya ham nigram manni vayarapasuddhishkaram. That, oh Krishna, my mind is so much flickering. I cannot control my mind, and trust me, it's very very difficult to control. And if you ask, I can control the air, but I'm not able to control the mind. So Krishna says, asamshaya mahabaho mano duni nigraha chalam abhyase na tu konteya vairage na chughyate. That, no doubt, I also agree that controlling this mind is very difficult, but with proper abhyas, with proper practice, abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagena chubhite, and with proper practice and detachment, we will be able to control the mind. And this is true for as a student also. If we want to excel in our life, then we have to do abhyas. In Marathi we say abhyas kara. So abhyas kara, अभ्यास म्हणजे काय, प्रैक्टिस. अभ्यास का मतलब क्या है, प्रैक्टिस करना है, ठीक है, एंड विद डिटैचमेंट. तो पढ़ाई में आगे जाना है, तो जो टॉप करते हैं अभी, जो whoever does, who is the topper, most probably it's not a fluke. ऐसे नहीं कि वो बस ऐसे ही सो के उठा हो गया, पेपर देख के आ गया और फर्स्ट आ गया, ठीक है, जो अभी अभी एनईटी का रिजल्ट आया. सो ऑल दिस स्टूडेंट, दे हैव वर्क वेरी हार्ड. All these people who go and crack IIT, IIMs, and who goes on to become district magistrate, IAS officers, they ऐसे नहीं खाओ पियो आराम से चिल मारो और मैं IAS ऑफिसर बन जाऊंगा या डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैजिस्ट्रेट बन जाऊंगा या मैं IIM में, IIT में एडमिशन मिल जाएगा. No, it's not. It's very difficult. You have to put in your effort and time, and then you have to have vairagya. When I was in college, I was in school, my mother used to tell, बेटा अभी जो है ना, अभी जागो. तो अगर अभी जागोगे ना लाइफ में, जब भी हम लोग पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं तभी अगर हम जागेंगे ना, तो बोलिए कि आराम से बाद में सोने मिलेगा. When you go in job, you will get time to sleep nicely. But if you sleep now, then whole life you have to be awake. ठीक है, तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि अगर हम अभी प्रयास करेंगे, अभी अगर हम अभ्यास करने में अपना रुचि दिखाएंगे, इफ वी आर अभी भी लोग जागते हैं, अभी ऐसा नहीं लोग जागते हैं किसमें, फेसबुक और व्हाट्सएप देखने में। हाँ, फेसबुक और व्हाट्सएप देखने में हम लोग जागते हैं कि किसने क्या स्टेटस रखा है, और इसी के लिए हमारे जो मार्क्स है ना वो चले जाते हैं, क्योंकि हमारा कॉन्सेंट्रेशन किधर है, हमारा कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है फेसबुक और व्हाट्सएप स्टेटस देखने में, जिसने क्या किया, उसने क्या किया, और ये सब क्या है, इट्स ऑल झूठा, ऑल दीज आर फॉल्स प्रोपागेंडा, इट डजंट हैव एनी सब्सटेंस। लोगों के लाइफ में बहुत सारे फ्रेंड है फेसबुक, व्हाट्सएप, इंस्टाग्राम में, लेकिन जब पेट में दर्द होता है ना तो कोई काम नहीं आता, घर वाले काम आते हैं। All these followers, they will never come in, they will follow you until until you have something charming with you. Jesse, I was reading one article, there was a footballer, and um, then this footballer was very famous, millions of people used to follow, and he used to, and here he got into this false false pride that because of me everybody is following me. And then one sudden day what happened, he met an injury, he got injured, and then because of his leg got injured, and then he cannot play football anymore, and all these people who were following, they started to desert him. The same person who was hogging a limelight was now a lonely person, because everybody was after his his that particular skill. Okay, so that's what Krishna also explains here, that in second chapter he says mat sparshas tu konte sitoshna sukh dukkha agma piyayano nityas tam titikshva bharata, that happiness and distress are like summer and winter, it will come and go, but a intelligent person, what he will do, he will tolerate. So what we have to do is we have to tolerate both happiness and distress, and it will come and go on its own accord. ठीक है, तो अगर बहुत सुखी हो गए या थोड़ा बहुत अच्छा मिल गया, मार्क्स आ गया, तो बहुत उड़ने का जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ टाइम। ओके, और बहुत दुख हो गया तो भी डू नीड टू लैमेंट, बिकॉज इट्स जस्ट अ मैटर ऑफ टाइम, एंड दिस इज हैपनिंग बिकॉज ऑफ आवर सेल्फ आइडेंटिफाइंग विद दिस सेंसेस। इस इंद्रियों से हम लोग जो अपने आप को आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं, तो हमें सुख और दुख मिलता है, अदरवाइज सिचुएशन इज द सेम, just because the consciousness makes the whole lot of difference. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to change our consciousness, and whatever 6 days, whatever 5 days, and today we are going to discuss is we are going to change our consciousness, and that is what is difference between happiness and distress. As we saw yesterday, happiness and distress will come, that is not in our hand, because it's forced because of our karma, but what is in our hand is our free will. Okay, and that is what we can use to change a situation into happiness or distress, and that is what differentiates between a learned person and a foolish person. The learned person will use his free will, okay, to make sure his consciousness is intact. How this will come? This will come by gaining knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of a PhD, MA, BEd ये करके ये knowledge नहीं मिलेगा, because we saw yesterday there are unteam universities, unteam colleges that they are teaching the science of body, how to maintain the body, but there is not a single institute which teaches us the science of soul. So art of living everybody is teaching, nobody is teaching art of dying, which is going to come anyways. So we have to learn art of dying, because this body is anyways going to get perished, and we understood that we are not this body. So what we have to do is we have to change our consciousness, we have to do our karma. So that doesn't mean we have to leave everything and chodo Haridwar, cholo Haridwar. No, don't go to Haridwar. Arjuna, after hearing everything, he didn't go to Haridwar. Okay, he fought.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yes, we will take you park your question. We will take it the last. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So if anybody have any question, please park your question. Then we can take the question in last, so that we will clarify everything. Okay. So after hearing Bhagavad Gita, what did Arjuna do? Arjuna सब कुछ छोड़ के, अच्छा ठीक है कृष्णा तू लड़ाई कर ले, अब मैं जा रहा हूँ घर पे या जा रहा हूँ जंगल में, साधु बन जाता. No, he fought, but fought for the pleasure of the Lord. So similarly, we have to do that. We have to do our work. We have got certain duties. So hearing Bhagavad Gita doesn't take us takes our mentality out of doing our duty, but it helps us do the duty properly without any attachment to the results. So we have to do our job. We are student, we have to work hard, we have to study, but we have to know that for whom we are doing, what is purpose of it. Okay, so we have got this human form of life, and this we have got this material body. Okay, so we have to understand that we have to use this human form of life, which is very very rare, because we are getting this body, as we saw, after movie passing through 84 lakh species of life. So we have to use this tool to get out of, to discontinue the cycle of repeated birth, to discontinue the cycle of distress, to discontinue the cycle of repeated sorrows. Okay, so this, I mean, Bhagavad Gita is very very vast. We keep on discussing. We can, I mean, we are discussing, in other forums we are discussing one shloka a day. So that is but because the forum was such, I mean, compressing it into 5-6 day session, 2 hour session, is a Herculean task. Okay, so I mean, we can just give a gist on that. So if anybody is interested to learn more, so we can have that classes as well. I will share the contacts, and we can continue more on that. So we'll move on. Okay, so I will share my screen, and okay. So as we discussed, today we are going to see the different kinds of yoga, and what is the pinnacle of this yoga. What is the pinnacle of yoga? Okay, so before we understand yoga, we should understand what is not yoga. Okay, so nowadays we see in market, so many people are having so many yoga: Bikram yoga, hot yoga, cold yoga, this yoga, that yoga, Ramdev yoga, some Baba yoga, some this yoga. So all these are not yoga. They are simply physical exercises which is being done to perform yoga. Okay, or for a yoga, we understand somebody is having a big dadi, big beards, matted hair, sitting in a posture. That is also not yoga or yogi. Okay, so all these yoga are just bogus. They are not yoga, but they are some kind. So yoga have different processes. Okay, it's not that you do whatever you want and you go and sit, do some breathing exercise. Yeah, breathing exercise is part of that, but yoga is beyond that. इट्स नॉट मेकिंग योर सेल्फ ये, और मोटे हो तो पतले हो जाओ, 4 दिन में 10 किलो लूज करो, 5,000 रुपया दो, ऐसा आसन सिखा दूंगा कि सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा, पतले हो जाएगा, थायराइड कम हो जाएगा, और क्या कहते हैं, व्हाट विल हैपन, पैंक्रियाज में वो आ जाएगा, कैंसर क्योर हो जाएगा, कोरोना ठीक हो जाएगा. योगा इज नॉट फॉर दैट. ओके, सो नाउ वी विल सी व्हाट एक्चुअली योगा इज अकॉर्डिंग टू स्क्रिप्चर्स. सही में योगा क्या है? So what is yoga? So yoga is a Sanskrit word which means combining. So it's yoga is combining what? Lord and soul are eternally and constitutionally linked in a bond of love. And to establish that link is called yoga. Okay, so we discussed that we are part and parcel of the Lord. Okay, we have already described when we went through who am I session, then what we understood, that we are soul. We are not this body which is made up of these 5 elements, 5 material elements. What are they? Earth, ether, water, fire, air, or 3 subtle elements: mind, intelligence, and false ego. So this total eight elements comprises this material body. So हम लोग ये शरीर नहीं है. So we are what? We are Atma. We are soul, and soul is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, Super Soul. Okay, and what is the constitutional position of the soul? The soul is the servant, and who is the master? Lord is the master. The Super Soul is the master. Okay, and uh, and soul is the Super Soul is the enjoyer, and we are enjoyed. And so Super Soul is the Lord is the maintainer, and we are maintained. Okay, so what is yoga? So yoga is to link, is a bond of love between the soul and the Super Soul, and the process through which we establish our connection with our Father, or the Supreme Father, the Supreme Lord, is called as yoga. Okay, and this process, there are 2-3 various process which Lord described how we can connect with our Supreme Father. So when we are in this material world, as we understood, why are in this material world? We are in this material world because we wanted to enjoy separate of the Lord. So now being a good child, we just because now we have enjoyed enough in 84 lakh species of life. Now we have understood, okay, this body, this we have already done all the enjoyment. So now we have to, now since we have got this human form of life, we are seeking intelligent questions, and we are asking question like, who am I? Why I am here? Why things are happening to me? You know, I don't want disease. I'm still getting disease. I don't want to get older, but I'm still getting older. So why these things are happening to me? So because we have got this human form of life, that's why we are seeking this question. And to answer this question, we are attending this session. And in this session, now we have understood that we have lost our relationship because we wanted to enjoy, and we are in the pretext of enjoying, we are literally suffering because of falsely identifying ourselves with this body. तो we also saw who is a madman. पागल कौन है? जो व्यक्ति अपना आइडेंटिटी भूल गया है. So जैसे the way we saw that if we are wearing a Adidas t-shirt or we are wearing a Levi's t-shirt, that means we are not Levi's. We are uh, uh, we are we are different from Levi's. But what we are doing, because we are wearing this body, we are identifying ourselves continuously with this body. Because we are having this Indian form of body, we are saying we are Indian. When we take Pakistani body, we'll say Pakistani. But actually we are not this body, we are soul. Okay, so now we have understood our reality, that I'm not this body. Because all the identification, somebody have this caste, somebody have this religion, somebody have this, this color of body, somebody is Maharashtrian, somebody is Tamil, somebody is Telugu, somebody is, but all this identification is on the bodily platform of life. And we understood that body is just a dead matter. The soul comes in, resides the body, and like a tenant, it move on to the next body. Okay, so now we have understood, so we have to reestablish, and reestablishing our connection with our father whom we have forgotten is called yoga. Okay, so and this yoga is also related to dharma. Okay, so what is dharma? So dharma, so to understand yoga, we have to understand dharma. So what is dharma? So in English literature, dharma is classified as, if you go in dictionaries and all, they will say dharma is some kind of religion. So what they particularly think is dharma is that somebody's religion is dharma. No, it's not like that. So for example, so people will understand the dharma means, today I am wearing this kanthi, or I am wearing this red thread. That means I am Hindu. So that means tomorrow I will go to some church, put a cross, I will become a Muslim, or sorry, a Christian. And then someday I don't feel, I don't feel anything, I don't like it. Then I will go to some mosque, and there I'll put a skull cap, and I will become a Muslim. So people think that is a dharma. That is not a dharma. That is a religion. But what is dharma? Dharma is something which cannot be changed. So religion is on the level of body. So bodily, so say for example, I have got this body, so I'm in India, so I will be a Hindu, so I will claim that I am following a Hindu religion. Or somebody will claim I am following a Muslim religion, or somebody will have Christian religion. But all this religion is on the level of body, correct or not? So if say for example, imagine, so because we are not this body, we are soul, or constitutional position, we understood that we are soul. So this we are coming in a body of so a family, so-called family of a Hindu family, though I am claiming I'm a Hindu. But when this soul leaves this body, and then say for example it takes birth in Pakistan, so he will claim that he is a Muslim. But the soul doesn't have any religion. Okay, soul's religion is it's only servant of God. Okay, so dharma is on the level of soul, religion is on the level of body, and dharma is something which will never change. So I have given example, written example, sugar. So what is a constitutional position? What is how will sugar taste? Sugar will taste sweet. अगर उसको इंडिया में खाओ तो भी चीनी मीठा लगेगा, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जाके खाओगे तो भी चीनी मीठा लगेगा, स्पेस में जाओगे तो भी इधर चीनी मीठा ही लगेगा. क्यों? You cannot separate sweetness from sweet. तो शुगर का रिलीजन क्या है? शुगर का धर्म क्या है? Who can answer? What is dharma of sugar?
Sweetness.
Sweetness. Correct.
Sweetness.
Correct. Correct. So sugar का धर्म sweetness है. तो soul का धर्म क्या है? Similarly, the dharma of a soul, since it's a part and parcel of the Lord, to serve the super soul. Okay, so that is our constitutional position. Right now, why there are so many clashes going on? Because all of us are on bodily platform of life. हम शरीर से ही एक दूसरे को देख रहे हैं. ये हिंदू है, ये मुस्लिम है, पाकिस्तानी है, ऑस्ट्रेलियन है, अमेरिकन है, ये गोरा है, ये काला है, ये ओबीसी है, ये एबीसी है, ये है, वो फलाना है, ये ढिमाके है, ये SC ST है, ये ऐसा है, वो ऐसा है. All these are bodily directions. Bhagavatam it said, Sarvapadhi Vinirmuktam Tat Parvartena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchati. That we have to get out of all these bodily upadhis. Upadhis means designations. And what is our constitutional position? Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchati. So serving Rishikesh is the topmost. So Rishikesh means the master of the senses. So we have all these senses. So what we have to do with the senses? To serve the master. Who is the master? Lord. So we have to use these senses to serve the Lord, not to enjoy it separate of him. And the moment we try to enjoy separate of the Lord, we get into a we get into the cyclic reaction of cyclic karmic reaction. Correct? That's where karma and vikarma will come into picture. Okay, so if you do good actions, punya. You do pap, you get vikarma or pap, sinful reaction, you will get sinful reaction. This is both causes of bondage. So what is cause of liberation? Serving the Lord, because that is our constitutional position. Okay, so as a servant, अगर आपके घर में servant है, if you have a servant Ramu Kaka at your home, so what is job of Ramu Kaka? So Ramu Kaka's job is to serve you. तो जो आप कहोगे वो करने का उसका काम है. तो रामू काका काम सब्जी बनाने. इफ यू गिवन रामू काका काम वर्क ऑफ कटिंग सब्जी एंड मेकिंग खाना भोजन whatever food, then his job is to do that, and after making he have to wait. Okay, Ramu Kaka needs to wait until the Malik, until you tell them, okay, you tell him if you want to eat, you can eat, or after eating you will tell him you eat. Okay, because you are the owner. That is the food is made for your enjoyment. अगर रामू काका ने बनाया, सब अच्छा कुछ सब कुछ खा लिया, और फिर सब फैमिली मेंबर वाले आए, बोले कि भाई खाना किधर है, एंड देन रामू काका टेल्स नो, मैंने तो सब खा लिया. व्हाट यू विल डू विद दिस रामू काका? क्या करोगे आप लोग? एनीबॉडी?
निकाल देंगे.
करेक्ट, करेक्ट. उसको निकाल देंगे यार, ये कैसा रामू काका है, हमको तो खाना ही नहीं दे रहा, खुद खाया जा रहा है. So similarly, if we try to enjoy separate of the Lord, then where that's where the problem comes into picture. Okay, and that is what this bhakti will mitigate. That is where performing akarma will help us. That is where it will help us mitigate all our problems, mitigate all of our reactions. Okay, so being a soul, or eternal dharma is to the living entities to serve. हम लोग सारे लोग सेवा कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. कोई ऐसा नहीं, there is nobody in this assembly or in this world who is not serving anyone. All of us are serving somebody or the other. कोई परिवार की सेवा कर रहा है, somebody is serving his family, somebody is serving his nation, somebody is serving his spouse, somebody is serving his office, somebody is serving his wife, girlfriend, nation, country, religion, caste, creed. And that's why we have so many societies. Agarwal Samhita, Kshatriya Mahasabha, Brahman Mahasabha, SC/ST Mahasabha, Bhim Army, Hanuman Army, Bajrang Dal, Ye Dal, Wo Dal. That's why we have so many diversions. And all this diversion and classification is on the platform of, can somebody answer on what? ये किसके आधार पे किया गया? इतना सब चल रहा है ये सब जो. Anybody? Okay, so all these are please Devashish, please go ahead.
I was saying that when many people with similar goals or ideologies, or as you say, जब एक ही चीज को सर्व करने वाले लोग मिलते थे, वो ग्रुप वगैरह फॉर्म कर लेते हैं.
हाँ, बेस्ड ऑन द बॉडली प्लेटफॉर्म ऑफ लाइफ. तो ये शारीरिक स्तर पे, शारीरिक डेजिग्नेशन पे, ठीक है. तो हम लोग सब लोग जो हैं कुछ ना कुछ सर्व कर रहे हैं. और कोई अगर कहे इज नॉट, इफ समबडी इज टेलिंग ही नॉट सर्विंग एनीथिंग, ही विल सर्व हिज माइंड. एंड अगर किसी के पास कुछ नहीं है तो they will take someone to serve. They will take some animal. कोई कुत्ते को सर्व करेगा, कोई बिल्ली को सर्व करेगा. And right now in India also this phenomena have started wherein people are they are taking pets. And if you go in West, there are people, they will put all their जो भी पैसा they have, whatever they earn in life, they will give will to this dog. करोड़ रुपए की संपत्ति कुत्ते के नाम पे छोड़ के चलेंगे, बिकॉज उनके पास क्या है, सिर्फ एक कुत्ता है. कुछ तो करेंगे ना, आदमी ने तो कुत्ते की सेवा करेंगे. So it's said very clearly that if you don't serve God, He will serve down, because serving is our nature itself, and all of us are serving somebody or the other. Okay, because our constitutional position itself is being a servant. We are not a master. We are all servant. Okay. So this yoga, so yoga means to establish that lost connection. Okay, so we already, so now the question arises: why are we frustrated? Okay, so as I told, that we have already all have propensity to serve, but our priorities are misdirected. We are all serving somebody or other in this world, and after serving them, what we are getting a same kind of response. Are tumne mere liye kya kiya? Whatever you do at the end of the day, be it your wife, be it your parents, be it your wife, children, maa baap, kuch bhi, koi bhi, all these people, they will simply say what you have done for me. If you say maine ye tir maar diya, I have done this, then what's new in that? Everybody does that. What's special? Okay, so the problem is all of us, we have lost our priorities, and because we are serving at a wrong place, that's why we are getting frustrated. So what we have to do is we have to set our priorities right. And as we already discussed, that if you serve on the material plane who don't deserve it, you'll get frustration. But as soon as you come and serve the self, the person who is full of knowledge, bliss, and happiness, you'll get happiness. So a soul's the soul's constitutional position is to serve the super soul. So what we have to do? We have to serve the super soul, and that's where we can get happiness, and that's where we can get peace. दुनिया की सेवा करेंगे, then we get frustration only, because all these people whom we are trying to serve, they are nothing but perishable entities, and they are made up of material things, material bodies, and we are also serving them on the platform of body itself. Okay, so until otherwise we come at the platform of soul, it's very, very difficult. And why we don't have, United Nations was created in 1949 for what? For unity. But when United Nations was created, that time only 70 countries were there. Now we see more than 200 countries are there. Why we are not getting united? Because there is so much, diversion. There are so many upadhis and designation. There are so many classifications, and that's why people are divided on the broadly platform of life. If somebody is a Muslim, he will say, I'm Shia, I'm Sunni, I'm Ahmadiyya. Somebody will say, I'm Hussaini. If Hindu, he will say, I'm a Brahman, I'm a Kshatriya, I'm a Vaishya, I'm a Shudra, I'm this or that. If Christian, they will say Pentecostal, I'm, Syrian, I'm Presbyterian, I'm Seventh-day Adventist. Somebody say, okay, I'm this, I'm, and then, and we are, when we go outside, what we see, from village level, we are getting, so much designations, and we are getting separated. Okay, so we have to revive that lost relationship. So then we have to see how many types of human beings are there. So there are two types basically, one who are the lawbreakers and who are the law abiders. So lawbreakers are nothing but two-legged animals, because they don't care for the law. So say for example, you're going on if you're traveling on a road and there is a red light, and even after red light, if somebody crosses the road, what does it mean? What does it mean? That he is
Lawbreaker.
He's a lawbreaker, and lawbreaker are nothing but two-legged animals. Okay, because laws are meant for human being. So अगर रेड सिग्नल है उधर, तो उधर से गाय जाएगी, तो गाय को चालान कटेगा क्या? Don't say that guy don't have money, the cow don't have money. Okay, they will not challan cow, because he's animal. Similarly, even after red light, if somebody crosses and he he runs away, that means on the on the steering there is somebody who is an animal in form of human being. Okay, and there are karmis also. Karmis means, so we will see all this type. There are karmis who are sakam karmi, nishkam karmi, and then there are yoga, and there are different type of yoga. There are three type of yoga: Gyan yoga, Ashtanga yoga, and Bhakti yoga. So who are the law breakers? So law breakers are the one who don't have believe in God. जैसे क्या भगवान, कि ये सब कुछ नहीं, मैं ही भगवान हूँ, तुम भी भगवान हो, हम सब भगवान है, ठीक है, गॉड वॉड कुछ नहीं होता, ये सब खाली डराने के लिए है। गॉड वॉड से कोई रिबर्थ क्या है, कुछ नहीं, कर्मा वर्मा कुछ नहीं, कुछ भी जो भी है अपना स्वार्थ। So these people, they are only interested in their own selfish gain. So even for their selfish gain, if they have to murder someone, they will not hesitate, because they don't believe in karma, they don't believe in rebirth. There is one philosopher, you know, who is in our scriptures already, Charvaka Muni. So he says, yavar jivat sukham jivet radam gritva gritam pivet dehasya bhasmibhutasya punaragmana kuto. That till the time you are living, enjoy, you know, take ghee and, you know, drink so much ghee, enjoy. And even if you have to take loan, get the loan, because you don't know after dying whether there is another birth or not. So that means these kind of people, they are only interested in eating, mating, sleeping and defending. And somebody can tell if somebody is only interested in eating, mating, sleeping and defending, what he is.
Animal.
Exactly. So these law breakers are nothing but animals, because they are only interested in ahar, nidra, bhay, maithun. ओके, खाना किधर है, सोना किधर है, फिजिकल रिलेशनशिप कहाँ बनाना है और कैसे डिफेंड करना है, ठीक है. दीज आर नथिंग बट टू लेग्स एनिमल. Then we will have karma kandis, so ritualistic ceremony. So these people, karma kandis, are the one who have faith on the Lord, but they are more into getting pious activity. तो उनको फायदा चाहिए, तो वो लोग बहुत they will do ritualistic ceremony. They are not interested in the soul, आत्मा उनसे कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. उनको क्या है, they only want अभी शरीर में ना, इसमें मजा मिलना चाहिए, बस ऐसा कुछ काम करो कि फायदा हो भाई, ये पूजा करे तो ये मिल जाएगा, ठीक है, कर देते हैं, ठीक है. So they are regulated, they are very God fearing. तो हम लोग बोलते हैं ना God fearing, ये कोई गलत काम नहीं करता, ये लोग मंदिर में जाएंगे, they will say in the front of Lord, तो ऐसे ऐसे. If you come in South India, they will hold their neck this years, ऐसा ऐसा उठक बैठक करेंगे. महाराष्ट्र लोग ऐसा ऐसा करते हैं, ऐसे ऐसे कि देवा रे देवा, माफी मांगते हैं, ये ऐसे मत करना. क्योंकि वो क्यों करते हैं, they do it out of fear. Okay, there is no love. And what did he see? What is yoga? Yoga is reviving the love and eternal relationship with the Lord. और ये लोग क्या, इनको लव नहीं, डर है, ऐसा नहीं किया ना तो मारेगा. And mostly, you know, so called, you know, contemporary religion, you know, which are going on, they are based on fear only. ये नहीं किया तो जहन्नुम में जाएगा, ये नहीं किया तो you will go to hell, you will rot for hell in eternity. डर, अरे भाई वो क्या भगवान के उधर हेडमास्टर बैठा है क्या, ये नहीं किया तो तेरे को वो कर देंगे, वो नहीं किया तो पीटेंगे. He is not there for doing that. So yoga is nothing but reviving or so this karmakandi people, they are more into how they can, you know, enjoy in this life itself. Okay, and these people, they accept authority. They are not like law breakers or this two legs animal. they डरते हैं, अरे गलत नहीं करने का भाई, ये नहीं किया तो ये गलत नहीं करने का, किसी का हक मत मारो, किसी को बुरा मत करो, ये मत करो, चीटिंग मत करो. Okay, and they will do it so that they can get some बेनिफिट आउट ऑफ इट. तो ये पूजा करा लिया तो लाभ होगा, या शनिदेव को जल चढ़ा दिया या तिल चढ़ाया शनिवार को, तो शनिदेव क्या उसका आंख टेढ़ा नहीं करेंगे. या काली जी को, ये नवरात्रि आ रहा है तो अभी सब लोग भगत बन जाएंगे, नवरात्रि आज ही है ना, अभी सब मीट ईटर लोग जो है ना अब शांत हो जाएंगे. अब वो कुछ नहीं है, वो बकरी को आज बकरी लोग को अभी फ्री टाइम मिल गया है 9 दिन, कुछ नहीं होगा उनके साथ में. दारू वारू का दुकान भी जो है ना एकदम खाली पड़ा रहेगा, कोई पिएगा नहीं. तो ये लोग कर्मकांडी लोग रहते हैं. जैसे ही खत्म हुआ, हलाल करके खाओ. जैसे श्रावण का महीना था, गटारी में पी के गटर में गिर जाओ, तो श्रावण में एकदम चिल मारते हैं, नहीं ये नहीं करने का, वो नहीं करने का. तो ये लोग सब क्या है, कर्मकांडी है, ठीक है. और ऐसे लोगों को, एंड दिस काइंड ऑफ पीपल, व्हाट लॉर्ड सेज, हाउ दिस पीपल आर, दे आर लेस इंटेलिजेंट पीपल. ये लोग दिखने में तो बहुत शाणे लगते हैं, लेकिन भगवान इनको क्या बोलते हैं, ये लोग कम बुद्धिमान है, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन getting out of this material world. Okay. Chandramohan, your line is on. You want to say something? Okay. So these karmakandis are not interested in getting out of this material world. यहीं पे इनको enjoy करना है. Just like, ठीक है. Now we'll come to निष्काम कर्म योगी. So निष्काम कर्म yogis are better than the कर्म yogis. ये कर्मकांडी लोग से better है थोड़ा सा. And this कर्मकांडी, so out of some कर्मकांडी, somebody will get frustrated. ठीक है, तो ये लोग कैसे हो गए, जैसे श्रील प्रभुपाद एक्सप्लेन दैट कर्मी, वर्कर ही विल वर्क वर्क वर्क। सो सारे 99% पीपल दे आर ओनली वर्किंग, काम कर रहे किसके लिए, फॉर एंजॉइंग आहार निद्रा भय मैथुनम। सो दे आर डूइंग फॉर ईटिंग मीटिंग स्लीपिंग एंड डिफेंडिंग, करते रहेंगे। एंड प्रहलाद महाराज सेज they are doing the same repetitive activity again and again. So what we are doing every day, we are doing the same repetitive activity. Eating, जैसे there is a t-shirt nowadays, eat, sleep, mate, dance, repeat, eat, sleep, mate, dance, repeat. So ये इस activities को according to the shastra, प्रहलाद महाराज says this kind of activity is what, this is like chewing the chewed, चबाए हुए को चबाना, पुनः पुनः चर्वित चर्वणा नाम। सो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इज सिंपली चूइंग द च्यूड। रस निकल गया है लेकिन फिर भी हम लोग सोच रहे हैं यार कहीं तो मजा मिल जाएगा, ठीक है। सो इस ये so these people they are on to the next level, so they will understand, they will do the same thing again and again, and then one day they will get frustrated, यार एक ही काम मैं रोज कर रहा हूँ, वही लड़की वही घर वही सब कुछ, यार जीवन है क्या, इसका जीवन का गोल क्या है। so then they will become frustrated and then they will ask intelligent question कि मैं कौन हूँ, यहाँ पे क्या कर रहा हूँ, मेरे जीवन का गोल क्या है, is there life after death, why I'm suffering. So after frustration they become, after frustration in their life, after doing same thing again and again, they will ask this intelligent question, okay, and then they will become detached from their fruits. तब उनको वैराग्य आएगा, यार क्या है ये दुनियादारी, इसमें कुछ मजा नहीं है, let me search something more, let me search something on the level of spirit. Okay, that's where Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4:34, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फले हेतुर्भुर माते संगस्त कर्मणि. Okay, so Krishna is saying that do your job and don't hanker for result, and this level will come only after one become frustrated. So jab tak till the time you're not getting frustrated in your life, in this material life, you will be seeking intelligent questions. Okay, if you are in section of karmi, ठीक है. So Srila Prabhupada says until otherwise, because this place is not for this material world is not for a gentleman's place, because यहाँ पे क्या है, envy, problems, disease, old age, anxiety. So this place is for the noble person, gentleman. No, it's not for gentleman. So अगर कोई problematic जगह है, what do we want? We want to get out of it. हमको वहाँ से move करना है. So इस प्रॉब्लम में रहते हो, इस प्रॉब्लम के अंदर कैसे नहीं घुसेंगे, विद द कॉन्शियसनेस. ओके, चेतना से हम सम रह सकते हैं. वी कैन बी स्टडी इन सिचुएशंस. ओके, एंड दैट्स व्हाई कृष्णा सेज दैट फॉर निष्काम योग कर्म योगी ही सेज वर्क डन एज यज्ञात् कर्मण्येन लोकम कर्मबंधना तदर्थ कर्म कौन्ते मुक्त संग समाचार. अगेन द सेम थिंग, दैट ओनली थिंग्स व्हिच आर डन as a pleasure for the Lord, a sacrifice for the Lord, should be performed. Otherwise, rest of the thing will become a cause of bondage. Okay, so these are category of nishkam karma. Now, so some people will say कि हमको कर्म करना चाहिए, because so in India will say कर्म करो कर्म करो कर्म करो कर्म करो. अरे भाई, कर्म ही करना है तो छुट्टी क्यों चाहिए? बोलते हैं ना, अरे ये सब करने से क्या है, भक्ति भक्ति व्हाट इज दिस, ये सब क्या है, कुछ नहीं, भजन करने से कुछ नहीं होना. ठीक है, कर्म करो, भगवान बोलते हैं भगवद गीता में, कर डू योर कर्म. लेकिन भाई अगर कर्म करना है तो सैटरडे संडे हॉलीडे क्यों चाहिए? आप बताओ, यू टेल मी व्हाई यू वांट हॉलीडे? बिकॉज कर्म ना, कर्म, वर्क इज वर्शिप. काम करो, यही मेरी पूजा है, कर्म ही पूजा है. छुट्टी क्यों ले रहे हो? करो ना रोज पूजा. नहीं, रोज नहीं करूंगा साहब, कुछ दिन करूंगा मैं, सिलेक्टिव दिन, बाकी दिन मैं दूसरा काम. Then that is false. That is not making any sense. So what Lord prescribed? One can get. What is Lord saying? Lord is saying one should offer the fruit of labor to God. That's why Krishna in 9th chapter he says, Yat karoshi yadashnashi yajuhoshi dadashi yat tapasyasi konte tatkushamadarpana. So if you are a karma yogi, you want to do karma, then don't hanker for the result, and whatever results you get, offer it to the Lord and work in the spiritual. So once you started offering the work, the action becomes spiritualized, and don't remain attached to the fruits. Our problem is because of attachment. Okay, we are doing some work and in lieu of that work we are seeking something. तो अगर हम कुछ करने के बाद अगर ये सोचते ये फल मिलेगा, अगर वो फल नहीं मिला तो क्या आएगा? दुख आएगा. लेकिन अगर हमने सोच लिया कि नहीं, मैंने जितना किया था मेरे को उतना ही मिला, तो क्या है, लाइफ में चिल मारोगे। चिल लाइफ में ना, अगर स्टूडेंट लाइफ में दो ही टाइप के लोग ना, दो ही टाइप के स्टूडेंट चिल मारते हैं। कौन? तो एक को जिसको सब कुछ आता रहता है, जिसको सब कुछ आता है ना, वो भी चिल मारता रहता है, अरे मेरे को तो सब कुछ। वो क्या करता है, जैसे आप देखो एग्जाम रहेगा कल, मान लो इसका जावा का एग्जाम है, और हम लोग जो रहेंगे सुबह से देख रहे हैं, अरे यार ये वाला क्वेश्चन आएगा, मैम ने बोला था इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो देख रहेंगे, अरे यार लूप किधर लगेगा, ये वो, ये पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म क्या, ये सब देखते रहेंगे हम लोग। और जिसको सब कुछ आता है ना, वो चिल मार के आएगा, अरे वही पूछेगा जो तुमने पढ़ा नहीं है, अरे ये वाला पढ़ा क्या, अरे यार ये तो पढ़ा नहीं, यही इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो हम क्या, वो छोड़ के दूसरे पे, अरे ये बोल रहा है स्कॉलर बंदा, ये बोल रहा है ये पढ़ना चाहिए, तो फिर हम वो पढ़ने लग जाते हैं। तो उसको तो टेंशन नहीं आता, वो भी चिल मारता है। दूसरा कौन चिल मारता है, जिसने कुछ पढ़ा नहीं है, वो भी चिल मारता है, अरे क्या है, अब तो फेल ही होना है, कौन क्या करने का। सो ऐसे लोगों का फिलॉसफी रहता है, वो लोग, हम लोग जो, वो लोग क्या करते हैं, रात में जागते हैं, एग्जाम के पहले दिन रात में जाग के खूब पढ़ेंगे। ये लोग क्या बोलते हैं, ये लोग का क्या फिलॉसफी है, पढ़ना लिखना छोड़ दे बंदे, नकल की करके आस, उठा रजाई सो जा बंदे, रब करेगा पास। तो ये कुछ नहीं, ये बोलते हैं कि अब मेरे को कॉलेज ही पास करेगा तो मैं पास होऊंगा, खुद से कभी नहीं, मैं कुछ नहीं ट्राई करूंगा, सो जा, फेल तो होना ही है, जाग के क्या मतलब है, चल सो जा। ये लोग भी चिल मारते हैं, लोग आएंगे ऐसे भाई लोग की तरह, क्या हाँ वंटा क्या चल रहा है, हाँ ठीक है दे दूंगा मैं एग्जाम, इस तरह से आते हैं। और जो हमारी तरह रहते हैं ना, जिनको ना कुछ पूरा पता है, ना ज्यादा पता है ना कम पता है, वो ज्यादा कंफ्यूज रहते हैं, बहुत सब पढ़ते रहते हैं, और लास्ट मोमेंट तक हाथ वाथ में भी लिख लेते हैं, इधर उधर छुपा छुपा के, ये कैलकुलेटर में कुछ फॉर्मूला रहेगा तो टाइप करके लिख लेते हैं। ठीक है, तो what we have to do, we have to offer it to the Lord. Okay, so I mean in this way, so this is the thing we have to do for karma yogis. Okay, next, now we'll come to ज्ञानी योगी। ज्ञानी लोग, ज्ञानी बाबा लोग जो है सब, so who are these ज्ञानी योगीज? so the ज्ञानी योगीज are the one, ये लोग बोलते हैं निराकार है, कुछ नहीं है, ये शून्य है, ये सब कुछ नहीं है, प्रकाश है, कुछ भगवान भगवान ऐसा कुछ नहीं, सब शून्य है, हम लोग सब जाके मर्ज हो जाएंगे, कुछ नहीं है। So we, as we, if you remember, when we are discussing who is God, does God really exist, in that section we discussed that there is a three way to understand the absolute truth. So what are the three ways? Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagwan, the impersonal feature, the super soul feature, and the God himself, the supreme Lord himself. So the Gyanis, they only have this conception that वो light है, just like we saw the example of a train, कि किस तरह से they, you know, a train came in a village where nobody was knowing what do you mean, what does train look like. They appointed three person, first person when he just see the, you know, light, and then came back and told that train is just like a lamp of light. So these are the Gyanis. Okay, so they are frustrated, they are also frustrated in life, ये सब, because they get a lot of book problems, because ये दुखालय है, Lord says this is दुखालय मा शाश्वतम, they will have lot of problems in their life, and they will say ये, that's why, you know, these people, there are people who will say Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. If you have heard, Brahma Satya means only the Supreme Lord is, I mean, is truth, rest everything is mithya, false. But the fact of the matter is everything is not false. दिस मटेरियल नेचर, ये क्या घर, ये फॉल्स है क्या, ये लैपटॉप फॉल्स है क्या, ये मेरा चश्मा फॉल्स है क्या, नहीं, दे एग्जिस्ट, दे आर ट्रू ओनली, बट दे आर टेम्पररी. So what an intelligent person will do, he will not reject, you know, he will not reject everything, he will use the thing in service of Lord. Okay, so we have to make best use of bad bargain. तो ये हमको मिला है, ये दुख दे रहा है, लेकिन what we have to do akarma. So we have to use everything in service of the Lord. Okay, so that is the intelligence. But for these Gyani yogis, they will say, okay, ये frustration दे रहा है ना, leave it, छोड़ दो यार, छोड़ दो इसको. Okay, and then they will try to understand the supreme truth, also absolute truth, with philosophical knowledge. वो speculate करते रहेंगे, ऐसा है वैसा है, ऐसा हो सकता है वैसा हो सकता है, और फिर ये करते करते वो क्या नाम है, भगवान के जो effulgence, that Lord's absolute truths, that Prakash, they will merge into that. But Lord himself confirms in the 12th chapter that this Jnana Yoga process is very, 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 very difficult. ठीक है, वो difficult है, very simple. अगर मैं बोलूँ प्यार करो, तो प्रेम किससे होता है? With whom we love? We love with some form, correct? किसी को बोलेंगे, जैसे क्रश जो बोलते, क्रश, अरे उसको देखा यार तो ऐसा लग गया यार, एक लड़के को देखा वो हल्की था, बल्कि था, एकदम स्मार्ट था, छावा लग रहा था, या ऐसा हीरो लग रहा था या हीरोइन लग रही थी, तेरी भाभी ऐसी लग रही थी, तो वी गेट विद सम फॉर्म, करेक्ट? बोलो हवा से प्रेम करो, होगा क्या हवा से? नो, वी अट्रैक्टेड टू क्वालिटीज, वी अट्रैक्टेड टू द फॉर्म। तो कैसे, अब क्या इमेजिन करोगे? आई मीन मैं ध्यान लगाऊंगा, वेल इमेजिन, आई विल क्लोज माय आईज एंड देन सोचो, ओम पे, नाक पे ध्यान लगाओ, एंड क्या होता है? वी विल स्लीप। एंड देन सोने के बाद ना सबको अच्छा लगता है, एंड देन यू विल आस्क कैसा सेशन था? और इतना धांसू सेशन था यार, बहुत पीस मिलता है। अरे सोएगा भाई तो पीस मिलेगा ही ना, सो के उठेगा तो पीस मिलता ही है। तो आंख बंद करके क्या करते, सोते हैं, और फिर हमने ब्रह्मांड को देख लिया। तो कृष्ण हिमसेल्फ सेज इट्स वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट। ओके, so Gyan Yoga process is there, but it's very difficult and not for us. And Kali Yuga, if I say, अगर मैं आपको बोलूं ए भाई, आप लोग ना, all who are in the call, don't think about elephant, please elephant के बारे में मत सोचना। The moment मैंने बोला होगा, all of you started thinking about elephant। तो ऐसे लोग क्या, क्या करेंगे ये लोग ध्यान भी नहीं लगा सकते हैं। That's what we will say next in Ashtanga Yoga। Ashtanga Yoga, see, it's a meditative process to control the mind and senses to ultimately focus on the supreme। अब देखो भाई, मेडिटेशन करो, तो बहुत सारे मेडिटेशन कोर्सेस हैं, ट्रांसेंडेंटल मेडिटेशन, ये मेडिटेशन, वो मेडिटेशन। आंख बंद करो, सो जाओ, ऐसे आंख बंद करो, ये रीढ़ का हड्डी को सीधा करो, और फिर आंख को आधा खुला रखो, सोचो 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 सोचो। आंख बंद करोगे तो झपकी मारोगे, और झपकी मारोगे तो अच्छा लगेगा, ठीक है? बट इन फैक्चुअलिटी दिस अष्टांग योगा इज नॉट द सब चीप, आंख बंद करके मत देखो, इट्स अ प्रोसेस, ओके, जिसमें you have to do, follow what you have to do। A yogi who want to do perform ashtanga yoga just have to sit in a secluded place। ऐसे नहीं 575 लोग के साथ बैठ गया है, माइक पे कोई बाबा जी दाढ़ी बढ़ा के जो ज्ञान दे रहा है, ऐसे करो वैसा करो। नो, you have to sit in the secluded place on a particular mat in a particular posture, and his eyes should be not, it should not be fully open, because fully open रहेगा तो अगर पूरा आंख खुला है तो वो चीजों को देखेगा, उसका मन उस चीजों में भागेगा, और पूरा आंख बंद है तो सो जाएगा, करेक्ट? आंख पूरा खुला है तो हम लोग देखते हैं ना, आंख खोल के अगर देखो, वो चल रहा है, वो जा रहा है, वो काला है, वो गोरा है, वो कैसा मुंह बना रहा है, वी विल सी ऑल दिस, वी कैन नॉट बी एबल टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट। और आंख पूरा बंद कर लिया तो सो जाएंगे भाई, ऑब्वियस, आंख बंद किया तो सो गया, तो भी कॉन्सेंट्रेट नहीं कर पाएंगे। तो इसके लिए फॉर डूइंग प्रॉपर योगिक प्रैक्टिस you have to, your eyes should be half open and half closed, then that is difficult, and then you have to perfect it, and then there are various gradual, and then you cannot कुछ भी खाओ। ये योगा ऐसा नहीं कि आप कुछ भी खाओ, तेल का कुछ खा रहे हो, मोटे हो गए तो चलो पतले होने के लिए योगा कर लेते। बहुत सारे डांस, अभी आजकल तो बहुत सारे योगा स्टूडियोज है, उनका काम ही है, जब वो लोग आपसे पैसा लेते हैं, कुछ भी योगा, हाँ करो करो करो, और कुछ भी नहीं होता, ठीक है? आपका पैसा बस चला जाता है, आपका जेब थोड़ा सा जो है ना वो पतला हो जाता है, बाकी आप मोटे मुक्के मोटे ही रहते हो, ठीक है? तो सब बेवकूफ बनाने का धंधा है। And then there is a process where you have to not eat certain things, you have to control our senses, and that is the most difficult part। And then once you become expert in ashtanga yoga, then you get certain siddhis। benefit क्या है उसका? You will get anima। so yoga करेंगे, अगर हम योगा में perfection पा लिए, then we get a siddhi, we get shakti or power where we can become smallest than the smaller, amoeba से भी छोटे हो सकते हैं। and laghima, anima, laghima, prapti, and then we can go, if we are sitting here and I want Washington apple, और मैं ऐसा हाथ करूंगा, then apple will come because of yogic desire। and there are yogis who can leave this body and travel all across the world and come back again। so that is for ashtanga yoga, but that is also very difficult, not for us जो ऑफिस में जॉब कर रहे हैं, ये लोग नहीं कर पाएंगे। वी हैव टू गो टू हिमालय में जाके उधर बैठना पड़ेगा बर्फ पे, ठीक है? देन तो हमारे जैसे लल्लू लाल लोगों के लिए क्या है, और जो बेस्ट है, तो हमारे लिए है भक्ति योगा। ओके, एंड व्हाट इज भक्ति योगा? भक्ति योगा इज अ योगा ऑफ सेल्फलेस स्टैटिक लव ऑफ गॉड बाय रेंडरिंग डिवोशनल सर्विस। क्या है? सेल्फलेस स्टैटिक लव ऑफ गॉड बाय रेंडरिंग डिवोशनल सर्विस। सेल्फलेस, स्वार्थ के विहीन, लव, प्रेम युक्त सेवा किसकी? भगवान की, ठीक है? बिकॉज बाय कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पोजीशन इटसेल्फ वी आर सर्वेंट, हम लोग क्या है? दास है। और इसमें क्या करना होता है? वेरी सिंपल, हमें अपने इंद्रियों को कंट्रोल करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। देयर इज नो नीड टू कंट्रोल आवर इंद्रिय सेंसेस, वी जस्ट हैव टू एंगेज द सेंसेस इन सर्विस ऑफ द लॉर्ड। Okay, so right now with the senses, with the eyes, what we are seeing some form. And what we have to do in Bhakti Yoga, we have to see the form of the Lord. Right now with the ears, we are hearing so much gossips. क्या क्या गाली गलौज किसका किसका चुगली ये सब सुन रहे हैं हम. With this in Bhakti Yoga, we have to use these ears in service of the Lord. We have to hear the glorification of the Lord. ये मुंह से बहुत कुछ उल्टा सुल्टा नाप शनाप बक रहे हैं, गाली गलौज क्या क्या नहीं कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. With the same tongue we have to use, with the same mouth we should use to glorify the Lord. And with the tongue हम कुछ भी खा रहे हैं without any distinction. With the same tongue we have to eat Krishna Prasad, the food which is after the Supreme. And with the hand we should use our hand and doing so many things, but we should use our hand in clean the leg. And with the leg we should use our leg going to the holy places. So this way we can control the senses. Okay, so the force will always be there. There are people who are trying to artificially, if you are trying to artificially control your senses, never ever you can control your senses. Kabhi control nahi hoga if you don't give him a proper engagement. And there are people, there are people who will think, okay, because the senses I am getting trouble, they will prick their eyes or they will cut their genitals. That will not work, because cutting the genital is not the problem, it's not the solution, because the desires are within. Okay, Krishna says the desires are within our heart. So until otherwise the desires is purified, all these senses will not work. So how to purify the desire? So what is the window of this mind where the desires are getting generated? The window of this mind is senses. तो इंद्रियों को अगर प्रॉपर चैनल पे नहीं लगाएंगे तो मन भी वही प्रोसेस करेगा जो हम करते रहेंगे. Okay, so that's why Krishna says we have to perform Bhakti Yoga. We have to do everything for the pleasure of the Lord, and we have to use everything in service of the Lord. And that way we will be able to control our senses. And this Bhakti Yoga is on the platform of spirit, not on the platform of material designation. And we will transcend all the material designation. And what it does, it purifies the heart and senses and arouses the love of God. Because since we are using everything for its real purpose, Rishikena Rishikesha, we are using the senses in service of his master. So what will happen? This devotional service is clean our heart. This is called as a cleansing process. Cheto Darpan Marjana. So our heart is right now affected with lust, greed, pride, anger, envy, whatnot. So because we are on this material designation, ye mera, wo uska, ye this, that, we are falsely claiming the ownership for the thing which we are not the owner. Okay, we are falsely claiming to be the cause of the thing for which we are not the cause. Okay, but this bhakti, everything will be mitigated, everything will be wiped out. And what will happen with that? The love of God, which is dormant in our heart, it will get awakened. Okay, and then we will understand our constitutional position, and then we will come to a stage of Satchidanand, pure eternity, bliss, and okay, so happiness, Ananda. So that is the time when we get happiness. Okay, otherwise we'll keep on trying, and as we know that every endeavor in this world ultimately ends in a failure. So there are 9 ways to perform devotional service, bhakti. So first is Shravanam, hearing about the Lord. Kirtanam. Kirtanam is the most important in this Kali Yuga, because Kirtanam is just chanting the holy name of the Lord, taking the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Okay, so you can take other names also, Govinda, Madhav, Murari, because all these names have the same potency, and there is no difference between the Lord and his name. So this is the way through which we can connect with the Lord very easily, because there is, just like in the normal material world, there is a difference between the person and the name. Say for example, my name can be Roshan because Prakash, but I'm look like a Prakash. No, I'm a dull, my face is dull, I'm not Prakash. So there is a difference between name and the person, but in the spiritual context there is no difference between name and the person. Smaranam, remembering the Lord. Pada Sevanam, serving the Lord. Archanam, performing deity worship. Vandanam, offering prayers. Dasyam, serving as a servant. Sakhyam, in the relationship with the friendship. Atmanivedanam, complete surrender. So these are the 9 ways to perform devotional service or bhakti. Okay, so and all this is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5, 7th chapter, 7th canto. Okay, and then the yoga ladder. So if you take the yoga ladders, then bhakti yoga is the top of everything, because it's very simple. Jnana yoga is very difficult. We have mental philosophy cannot do anything. And then ashtanga yoga is even more difficult, but the top of the everything is bhakti yoga. It's like a elevator. ठीक है. So if you cross elevator से जाना easy है या सीढ़ियों से जाना easy है? Obviously elevator, because what it does, it saves times and energy and inconvenience. So we have to become intelligent and take this process of bhakti yoga. Okay. So what are the benefit? I think we have already covered this. So if you see the yoga ladder, it all starts with karma kanda. When we are focused on the rituals, हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं, बस मेरे को फायदा चाहिए. Then after कर्म कांडा, somebody will get frustrated. यार ये करके क्या, मेरे को इससे बाहर निकलना है, ये बार बार एक ही चीज में क्यों कर रहा हूँ. Somebody will get that intuition. Then they will renounce the fruit of their work. They will offer it to the Lord. And after that, they will come to the step of Jnana Yoga. Well, they will try to understand the Lord with the philosophy. And then next is Ashtanga Yoga, wherein they will do some yogic posture, and then Niyam, Pranayam, and finally they will attain Samadhi. But the topmost is Bhakti Yoga, where just by performing loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord, will attain all the perfection of life. And what is the way in Kali Yuga? Is by chanting the holy name. So Krishna himself, confirms this in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita 6.47, he says, Yogi nam api sarvesham madgadentaratmanah shraddhavan bhajate yomam sa me yuktatmo mata. And all of the yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all yogi. And this is my opinion. So whatever I spoke was not my opinion. It's the opinion of the Supreme Lord himself. So what we should do? We should take the opinion of the Supreme Lord as it is. And doing Bhakti Yoga is rare. That is also, one thing. So what Krishna says, Bahunam Janma Manante Gyan Man Mam Prabhadyate Vasudeva Saramiti Sa Mahatma Su Durlabha. And after many, many births and death, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes, and all that is such a great soul is very, very rare. So Sudurlabha, Durlabh means rare, and Sudurlabha is very, very rare. So that's why in Thakur institution we have 15,000 students, and out of how much we are, we can count how much we are. So what does it mean? It's rare. अगर अभी just imagine some heroine would have come, or some topic related to some mundane affair, or some cricket match discussion would have been going on. You would have got hundreds and thousands of people registered there. No, but we don't have that much. We have few. Why? Because it's rare of rare. Just like if you are selling potatoes and tomatoes, bhaji ke dukaan pe you will see lot of crowd will be there on bhaji ka dukaan. A vegetable shop, टमाटर दे दो 20 रुपए किलो, आलू दे दो 40 रुपए किलो, ये पुली दे दो 10 रुपए किलो. Everybody can afford it. But a diamond shop, hardly you will see people there. Why? Because you have to pay the price. Okay, because you have to be above the normal intelligence. And as we have already discussed throughout the session, that only a person with intelligence can take up this process, can ask the intelligent question of who am I, why I am here, why I am suffering, why this is being forced on me, how to get out of it, why this repeated cycle of birth and death, what is the way out, how can I get eternal happiness. Only few will ask this question. Otherwise, rest of the population is like two-legged animal, because they are only interested in eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. Ahar, nidra, bhay, maithun. And they are thinking they are falsely, and they are foolish also, because they are falsely claiming what they are not. They are all of them, they are just hovering on the bodily platform of it. They are identifying themselves with the t-shirt. Adidas का t-shirt पहना है तो खुद को Adidas समझ रहे हैं. Okay, but are we the t-shirt? No, we are different from t-shirt. So we are different from this body. And this knowledge you will get, this knowledge you will understand only when we come in contact with the scriptures, only when we come in contact with the sadhus, only when we come in contact with the learned people who are on the path of self-realization. So this human form of life is given to us not for eating, meeting, sleeping, and not for that. Just like animals, it's given to us so that we can surpass this repeated, distress and miseries. Okay, and what is the way? The way is bhakti yoga, performing devotional service. So that is very, very important. If we perform devotional service, that means we are performing a karma, and a karma means which will not, which will not, which will not, get involved us in the cyclic reaction, cyclic karmic reaction. So we have to become intelligent, and we have to take up this process very, very seriously. Okay. So what is perfection of life? So those who become bhakti yogi have a very bright and happy future. They are meant to go to kingdom of God to engage in eternal, blissful, and loving pastime with the Supreme God. And this is the ultimate destination and perfection of life. There is nothing higher to be achieved. And this is goal of yoga, achieving the perfection of life, this perfection of human form of life. Because only human can ask this question. Only because animal will not be able to question this. Human animals, they are okay. If they are suffering, that also is okay, because they are doing everything in autopilot. There is no karmic reaction in the animal life. But we humans, we have got this intelligence, higher intelligence. All of us will say Arya, we are Aryan, we are from Aryan race. So what do you mean by Aryan? What do you mean by Aryan? So what do you mean by Aryan? So we all say we are Aryan. We will keep on saying Aryan. So Aryan means progressive. Who is progressive, correct? So we have got this human form of life after passing through 84 lakh species of life. 84 lakh kutta, billi, chuha, cockroach, सब कुछ बन के we have got this. Finally, we have got this human form of life. Now, if we claim to be Aryan, Aryan means progressive. तो इसका मतलब यहाँ से हमें आगे चलना है, correct? Just like if you're somebody is getting into a job and he started as a clerk or he started as a peon. So उसका desire क्या है, उसकी इच्छा क्या है? Everybody have a desire. यार peon हूँ ना, I will get promotion, I will become an office clerk. After office clerk, I will become some supervisor. Then some manager, VP, SVP, something like they want to progress. But if we just after getting this human form of life, if we just say okay, nahi, I want to remain what I am, even I have to go down. So that is Aryan, that is foolishness, or that is intelligence? That is utter.
Prabhuji, then who are the Dravidians?
Sorry, Dravidians. So both Aryans and Dravidians, they are race. I'm just giving a comparative study. And Aryan is what? So ultimately, everything we are progressive only. Okay. So here they will say Aryan or Dravidian and all. So that is not. I mean, that is also again a bodily designation of life. So we should not get into that. I'm just giving an analogy. Okay, making sense?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So we should use it wisely. ठीक है. If we have got a Mercedes, उसको कचरा उठाने के लिए काम करेंगे तो अच्छा लगेगा क्या? If you have a Mercedes, take it out. Go and roam around. Don't take it for कचरा. ये सब्जी ले वो कचरा उठा लेते हैं थोड़ा सा. No, then you are wasting it. Okay. So there are certain do's and don'ts for advancing. So for everything, if you want to advance, you have to certain do's, because if you go to doctor, if you have a disease, the doctor will give you medicine, and with that medicine he will also say यार इसको 3 टाइम खाना, खाने के पहले खा लेना, खाने के बाद में खाना, और ये मत गरम मत खाना, चावल मत खाना, राइस मत खाना, दाल मत खाना, ठंडा मत पीना. So there are do's and don'ts. So for bhakti also, because just like when you plant some seed, जब कोई planting करते हो तो जब भी उसमें वो थोड़ा सा कली जो बाहर आता है या पेड़ जब लगा रहता है, तो हम क्या करते हैं, वी प्रोटेक्ट, वी डू गार्डनिंग. सो जो हम भी जैसे फल लगाया, कोई बीज लगाया, तो उसके साथ और भी अनवांटेड वीड्स आ जाते हैं, तो हम क्या करते हैं, उसको उखाड़ के फेंकते हैं. क्यों? अगर उसको उखाड़ के फेंकेंगे नहीं ना, तो जो प्लांट है वो खराब हो जाएगा, बिकॉज ऑल दीज अनवांटेड वीड्स विल सक ऑल द न्यूट्रिएंट्स, सो दिस विल डाई. सिमिलरली फॉर भक्ति आल्सो, or for everything, we have to perform certain thing which is favorable. So it says anukule se sankalpam pratikule se varjanam. So we have to take things which is anukul, which is good for bhakti, or for anything, for study also. So we should accept the thing which is good for our study. and we should reject which is hindrance to our study or bhakti. Okay, so there are certain rules. So what? Association of devotees. So so it says sadhu sanga sarva shastra ka hai, law matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hai. So if we associate with the devotee for a given moment, that will give us a very long lasting benefit, because the devotees will speak about the topic of self realization. They will not speak about mundane topic, अरे वो उसका ये हो गया, उसका ये हो गया, अरे उसने उसको मार दिया, ये कर दिया, वो कर दिया, because that is useless. How much ever you discuss, क्या होने वाला है? If we keep on discussing, मैच होने के बाद हम लोग घंटों घंटों डिस्कस करते हैं, अरे कोहली ने उसको क्यों बैटिंग नहीं दिया, अरे खुद क्यों आ गया, धोनी को समझ में नहीं आता कि 6 नंबर पे क्यों आ रहा है, अभी रन रेट आगे हो गया तो खुद को आगे आना चाहिए. रिगार्डलेस ऑफ वॉट एवर वी डिस्कस, घंटों घंटों हम डिस्कस कर लेते हैं, एंड देन बोला सुनते, अरे छोड़, मेरे को क्या करना है यार. इफ वी आर डिस्कसिंग सम गॉसिप, ये करते हैं ना, किया किया, अरे उसने ऐसा गलत कर दिया, उसने ऐसा कर दिया, वो चीटिंग करता है, वो तो ऐसा है, वो तो ऐसा है, फिर करा करा करा, फिर बाद में छोड़ना, मेरे को क्या करना है, चल जाते हैं घर पे. यही. So that means what? We are simply wasting our time. Okay. So similarly, making from the devotees anukul thing, hearing discourses about Krishna, Sankirtan, Japa, and then for Sankirtan, there are, for every yuga there is a mode, there is a way through which we can do. So in Sati Yuga it was meditation. So if you want to do self realization in Sati Yuga, it's meditation. You have to meditate for thousands of years. In Treta Yuga, you have to do sacrifice, yagya. In Dwapar Yuga, you have to do temple worship. But in Kali Yuga, the method of self realization is Sankirtan. And doing what? That means chanting chanting the holy name of the Lord. In Bhagavatam it said, Kaler dosh nidh rajan asti hi eko mahan guna kirtanadev krishna se mukta sang param vrajet. That even if Kali Yuga is the age of quarrel, age of problems, but still if somebody if somebody does kirtana, chanting the holy name of Krishna, then he will get mukta, he will get delivered. And Brahmaji, the secondary creator, he says, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Nam ev kevalam kalav nastev gatiranyata. That in this Kali Yuga, chanting the holy name of the Lord, chanting the holy name of the Lord, and chanting the holy name of the Lord is the only way, and there is no other way, no other way, no other way. Okay. So Sankirtan is the way, and it's very simple. Okay, we don't have to spend a penny also. So what is that? So what Sankirtan we do? We do Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So what is basically we are doing with this? So what is our concept? What this mantra is? What this mantra is all about. So that we have to understand why we are chanting this. Why do we speaking over? Why would we take this mantra? Why would Japa do chanting on this? Because when we chant this mantra, what we are asking? We are asking loving devotional service of the Lord. Okay, it's not specific to any religion, Krishna or Ram or Hindu or Muslim. No, we are simply seeking, oh Lord, we have served this material world so much nicely, but what we want to do is now we want to serve you. Now we want to get out of this entanglement, and please take me in your service. Oh Radharani, oh material energy, oh superior energy of the Lord, please take me in your service. Okay, so we are seeking service from the Lord. So that's why we chant this mantra. So do and continuing the Vijjapa, chanting the holy name, seva. So you have to perform devotional service. So service can be in two ways. Either we serve the Lord by chanting the holy name or to deity worship, or we can serve his devotees. So that is also service. Deity worship, performing arti, prasadam, offering bhoga to the Lord and eating that. Reading spiritual literature. हम लोग कुछ तो कुछ पढ़ते ही हैं. We should read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, something like that. Regularly making home your temple, fasting, personal habits. And don'ts of bhakti, जो नहीं करना है हमको, no meat eating. We should try. I mean, right now we will be doing that, is not a problem. It's okay. It's just it's for secondary level. Okay, no meat eating. We should not try to eat meat, because we are killing, and because of killing, as we know, it's a sin. Sin in the sense because they are also jiva, and for every action we have to see the reaction. We also heard the story of this Rashtra, how sometimes some life backs he killed hundred of pigeons, and then ultimately in future life his 100 sons were killed because of his karmic reaction. No intoxication, so no kind of liquor, something like that, on all these LSD drugs and all. Why? Because it will first of all, it will take all of your wealth, and also it will help you lose, it will make sure that you lose all your concentration. No cigarette, all these we should avoid. This is not good, not even for bhakti, also even for normal person it's also not good. Nowadays fashion, but it's totally wrong. Even or why these people are getting so-called so many things, because of their prarabdha karma. So what we understand, prarabdha karma is what we will get whatever action we do. So I had one, my elder, my uncle. He used to smoke bidi he used to, and we used to say, nahi nahi kyun peete ho, but he used to not listen. And then what happened, finally 4 years back he got cancer. And that time he started to lament, अरे यार मैं बीड़ी नहीं पिया रहता ना तो मेरे को ये कैंसर नहीं होता. So we will get the prarabdha karma. So we should avoid all these things. No illicit sex. So I mean, all of your students, but so according to the scriptures, a union between male and female should be done only after marriage. But nowadays, the society have become so much spoiled that we have become like animals, because in animals only there is no, there is no concept of marriage, because they are free. बाप बहन कोई भी नहीं छोड़ते वो कुत्ता बड़ा हो गया, कुतिया जो है, they will coordinate. So illicit sex will avoid it. And also this also means, sex outside of marriage also. So that's why this Vedic scripture, they have this concept of marriage, wherein wherein the concept of marriage is there, where a male and female, they stay together so that there is no chaos in the society. Otherwise we will become, US, you go in US, because there is no concept of no illicit sex. वो लोग जानवर की तरह रहते हैं. So there if you go, if somebody is delivering a baby, वहाँ पे here we will ask ना, जैसे जब डिलीवरी होता है, baby gets delivered, they will ask father कौन है, बाप कौन है, माँ कौन है. In US they will not ask the father's name. पिताजी का नाम नहीं पूछते, खाली माँ का नाम, माँ कौन है बस. पिताजी कौन, 575 पिताजी. इफ यू सी द हीरोइंस एंड ऑल देयर, दे विल हैव 5-6 मैरिजेस. 2 बच्चे उससे है, तीसरा बच्चा उससे है, चौथा बच्चा उससे, पांचवा बच्चा उससे है. और कई बार यू विल सी अ न्यूज वेयर इन they don't know that they are brother and sister, and they will get married. After marriage, after 5 years, they will understand, oh okay, our mothers are same. So this is animalic society. जानवर के साथ ही ऐसा होता है, not for human being, because rules are meant for human beings only. And no gambling, and avoid any kind of bad association. So these are don'ts of bhakti. Not for bhakti also, even for normal human life, if you want to live life peacefully, you should avoid all these things. Conclusion. So the conclusion is that human life is very, very precious. Our time is very, very short. So we will say that hardly we have 70, 80 years, 100 years हम लोग बोलते हैं, लेकिन none of us are going to live 100 years. अगर कोई 100 years जी जाता है, if somebody is living 100 years, they will get newspaper में छप जाएगा फोटो, this person have lived 100 years. Hardly 60, और average age is 67 years. उसमें भी 30 साल 30 years will go to sleep, and 25 years हम लोग पढ़ाई कर लेंगे, बचेगा क्या, ठीक है. और ऑफिस में गए तो 12 घंटे तो ऑफिस में काम करेंगे, तो सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन कब करेंगे? Where is the time for self realization? So we should not waste our single time. Chanakya Pandit says, even a moment lost, even when a moment is lost, and if you pay thousands of dollars or so much gold coins, it cannot be taken back. So this human form of life is very, very precious. Don't waste. Seriously, it's my humble advice, because once the time passes, it never comes back. And this is the perfect age for all of you to take this path of devotional service. And this is the age when I also took it up. You're at 20s, I also did. In fact, yeah, in 2008. That time I was also 20, and I was in third year of engineering. So that time I do, and I regret, I could have taken it earlier, then I could have got, I have lost 20 years. I could have been, done so many things. I could have, understood so many things. But still, earlier it is, better it is. Because then my life is peaceful. In the sense, you understand things in proper perspective. And once you understand things in proper perspective, then only your life will change. And that's why it's all about the consciousness. That's why we have to develop the consciousness. Wealth and all will not give you anything. Only if the consciousness is proper, things will work in the way it should work. So this is the right time you should take it up. ये भक्ति जो बुढ़ापे के लिए नहीं है, बुढ़े हो जाओगे तो. अगर गर्लफ्रेंड को गुलाब देना है या बॉयफ्रेंड को गुलाब देना है, तो कौन सा गुलाब दोगे आप? फ्रेश वाला या मुरझाया हुआ? एनीबॉडी? फ्रेश वाला ना, कि बुढ़ाया हुआ मुरझाया हुआ वो फेंक देगा नहीं. वो जो करते हैं ना फिल्मों में कि शी लव्स मी नॉट, शी लव्स मी नॉट, वो करने के लिए भी फ्रेश चाहिए गुलाब. वो मुरझाया रहेगा तो पता भी नहीं चलेगा कौन सा वाला निकल रहा है. ठीक है. सो गिव फ्रेश, your mind is fresh, so many thoughts you can take it up. Okay, and this is the time you can understand also nicely. बुढ़े 40-45 अपने मम्मी पापा को जाके बताओ 50, हाँ क्या है, कुछ नहीं, छोड़ो ये सब, कुछ नहीं है, चलो ये सब काम धंधे पे लगो, अपने काम धंधा करो. Because they don't have knowledge, they are ignorant. This is the time we have to understand. If you understand now, rest of the life you will, आपके लिए ऐसे रहेगा. no शिकन, you will not be having any problem because you will know things in perspective. लेकिन लोग क्यों प्रॉब्लम है? उनके पास सब कुछ है, उनके पास पैसा है, उनके पास धन है, उनके पास सब कुछ है, बट क्या नहीं है? रियल नॉलेज नहीं। बिकॉज क्यों रियल नॉलेज नहीं है? क्योंकि उनके पास ऐसा नहीं भगवत गीता नहीं है, दे हैड भगवत गीता, बट उस भगवत गीता को उन्होंने क्या किया? ऐसे लाल कपड़े में लपेटा और उसको पूजा रूम में रख के उसका आरती घुमाया, या उसको लाइब्रेरी में रख दिया। ठीक है, ज्ञान आएगा ना पढ़ने से, मटेरियल ज्ञान विल हेल्प यू मटेरियल। अगर आप बहुत पढ़ाई कर लोगे, पीएचडी एमए ना, शरीर पे रहेगा। अगला जो बर्थ मिलेगा उसमें भी मेहनत करना पड़ेगा, अगला बर्थ उसमें भी यही सब काम करना पड़ेगा। ये नहीं तुम्हारा पीएचडी कैरी ओवर हो जाएगा। अरे पीएचडी क्या काम नहीं, अरे बच्चा पीएचडी करके पैदा हुआ है, वो भाई कांग्रेचुलेशन, पीएचडी वाला बच्चा है। ओके, सो डोंट वेस्ट योर टाइम, टेक इट अप, दिस इज अ टाइम, टेक थिंग्स इन प्रॉपर ट्रस्ट, स्टार्ट टू लर्न, स्टार्ट टू ग्रास्प। और एक बार कॉन्सेप्ट आ गया ना, इंटेलिजेंस से आपका कंट्रोल, अगर माइंड को कंट्रोल करता है इंटेलिजेंस, और इंटेलिजेंस में अगर नॉलेज है ना, तो आप कोई भी सिचुएशन को पार कर लो, तब वो स्टडीनेस आएगा। तब कोई भी सिचुएशन है ना, फेल होगा, केटी भी लगे तो भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, अगली बार एग्जाम आएगा यार, पास कर लेंगे। नहीं तो अगर ऐसा सोचोगे यार फेल हो गया, बेइज्जती हो जाएगी यार, अब क्या होगा, तो गया जिंदगी, अरे नहीं, कुछ नहीं। तभी लोग सुसाइड करते हैं, तभी लोग डिप्रेशन में। ओके, so and also start to take up this concept of simple living and high thinking, सादा जीवन उच्च विचार। अब हम लोग क्या हो गए, उच्च जीवन और सादा विचार, इसी के लिए तकलीफ है। and sum and substance of uniform of life is always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Okay, so bhakti, perform bhakti, and once you do that, your life will become sublime. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So these are my contact details. So if you want to remain in touch with me, you can be in touch with me. Okay, and if you want to study more on Bhagavad Gita, so I also conduct so many classes on Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you want, we can, you can also join that as well. So that's on Zoom and other platforms. And also, if the college will allow, we will keep on continuing doing this kind of programs and get more in-depth knowledge. So I will stop here. Anybody have any questions?
Yes, Prabhuji, there are questions. I think we'll start with Debashish question.
Okay.
Debashish, you read out your question. I think you should read on your own.
Yeah, not read out actually. I have it in my mind. Prabhuji, I was learning a lot of things in the lockdown, and I learned quite a few things in psychology. There are two concepts in psychology. One is called materialism, and the other is dualism. What materialism says is that the brain is material in nature. Our mind, our personality, everything is materialistic. If, let's say, a person, if he gets any brain damage or anything happens to him, then there will be some changes in his personality too. In his behavior changes will also, we can see some changes in that. While in dualism, we see that the brain and the mind are two separate entities. Like we believe in the soul and rebirth, that concept is related to this dualism. Like our mind and soul are two different things. So, and it, dualism is an old concept, and materialism come recently, and it has improved after many brain surgeries or something. The personality changes. So, how do you believe that this is not true? Because whatever you have said in this session, those these all concepts are related to dualism.
So दो ही चीज है यार, एक मैटर है, एक स्पिरिट है। ठीक है, देयर इज ओनली टू कॉन्सेप्ट, मेटेरियलिज्म एंड मैटर एंड स्पिरिट। और ये सब जो कॉन्सेप्ट है ना, इवन दिस माइंडल इंटेलिजेंस, दैट इज मटेरियल कॉन्सेप्ट ओनली। Okay, regarding all these are speculations. Okay, so whatever they will, these are philosophy, dry philosophy, and these are based on, as we discussed, these are based on mental speculation on through these senses. We heard na that anuman praman, shabda praman, and pratyaksh praman. So these are, so these are called anuman praman. They are making a guess. Okay, this, I mean, just like we took the example of what, we took the example of assembly of doctors, and one person was limping, so all these doctors, they tried to speculate aisa hua hoga, and all these people, all these so called people, they will use the word like perhaps, maybe, this and that. So perhaps and maybe makes it keeps on changing. So first of all, if you read the scripture, because scripture is Sabda Praman, it's very paka that there are only two things only, either spirit or matter. So whatever you see the material body, that is made up of material elements. Okay, and we also concluded through the session,
Close the
and
door.
with the logic we understood that this consciousness or this chetana is because of the spirit. Okay, and we also saw, even if you give the scientists, so-called researchers, what they are doing, if you give all this material element to them and ask them a person to move, it will not move, because the matter itself by cannot create anything. It can only be a dead state. Only if the consciousness, soul enters, then it becomes, movable. So this concept that okay, there is one dualism, this materialism. Yes, there are two things. There are people who understand that they are not this body, they are soul, so they ask for higher cause. And there are animals who only deals with matter, so they are only two-legged element. They are only interested in eating, meeting, sleeping, and that's it. As simple as that. Making sense?
Yeah, totally. I mean, this is totally different idea. It kind of combines your thing and whatever I have learned.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Vijit. Vijit, you can ask the question.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
वही मेरा क्वेश्चन यही था कि हम लोग ये सब स्टार्ट तो कर देते हैं, लेकिन थोड़े टाइम बाद डायरेक्शन लूज हो जाते हैं, मतलब वापस ओल्ड रूटीन फॉलो करने लगते हैं।
हाँ ठीक है, कोई
स्टेबिलिटी
दिक्कत।
डिसिप्लिन नहीं है।
हाँ, डिसिप्लिन क्यों नहीं है? कि हमारा एसोसिएशन नहीं है ना। संगत संगत से गुण होत है, संगत से गुण जात। तो जैसा करेंगे संग, वैसा ही हम आचरण करेंगे। तो हम स्टार्ट कर देते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ सम एंथुजियाज्म। अरे यार, मैंने सुना, अच्छा लगा, सही बात है, ऐसे ही होना चाहिए। लेकिन फिर वो वेन ऑफ हो जाता है। क्यों? जैसे हम लोग जिम रोज हम देखते हैं, डोले शोले है यार, इसका बिस्किट निकल आया, इसका ये पार्ले जी है, इसका कौन सा है, दूसरा है ये, इधर बाइसेप्स आ गया, ये आ गया, तो हम लोग भी जोश में आ जाते हैं, नहीं हम भी जिम जाएंगे। एक दिन गए, 2 दिन गए, 3 दिन गए, और फिर ढुस हो जाते हैं, यार क्या यार क्या है। तो स्टार्टिंग इज वेरी इजी, क्रिएशन इज इजी, डिस्ट्रक्शन इज इजी। स्टार्ट करना आसान है और छोड़ना आसान है। क्या डिफिकल्ट है? मेंटेन करना। ठीक है, तो मेंटेन करने के लिए वी हैव टू कीप एन एसोसिएट। ठीक है, we have to associate. So that's why the first thing which we in the do's we saw is association. जैसे business में you are Gujarati, correct? So Gujaratis, they are, उनके जितने भी relative Gujarati and Marwadis, ideally all their relatives will be in business and always they will speak about business. यार ये धंधा कर ले, इसमें इतना प्रॉफिट है, वो तो उनको कहाँ से लॉजिक आता है? क्यों? क्योंकि उनका जो एसोसिएशन है वो ऐसे लोगों से है जो उनको नए नए आइडियाज बताते रहते हैं। ठीक है, उसी तरह से इफ यू वांट टू कंटिन्यू इन भक्ति, इफ यू वांट टू कंटिन्यू इन द पाथ ऑफ डिवोशनल सर्विस, you have to associate. Okay, you can take my association if you have time and free. Okay, or we can discuss, no problem. So association is very very important.
यस प्रभु जी, थैंक यू।
Yes,
Okay.
Chandramohan.
Hello.
Yes, Chandramohan, you are audible.
Yes, Prabhuji, I just want to ask how we'll come to know that our passion is changed into greediness.
How our passion is changing into greatness? So passion is in
Yeah.
mode of
Whatever
Rajoguna.
we are pursuing, yeah.
So so when it changes into greediness, when you think that you are the master of it or you are the only owner of it, then it turns into greediness. ठीक है, जब आप उसको अपना खुद को मालिक समझे, यही मेरे लिए, ये सिर्फ मेरे लिए है, तब वो लालच में बदल जाता है। Okay, any specific example you want me to elaborate? आपके पास कोई example है? Then we can discuss on that example also.
If we are doing, means if we started doing something,
Mhm.
or we are earning from that,
Mhm.
or we are passionate about that thing, and
Correct.
suddenly we are continuously, or behind that we are leaving our studies and for the things, and doing that, focusing on that particular things only.
Mhm.
So is it passionate or my greediness like that?
Yeah, it's not your passion, it's your misdirection है ये. Because as a student, your only duty is to study. Okay, so you should focus on your primary task. So अभी आपका जो अभी पढ़ रहे हैं आप, your focus should be studying. And then if you have time, you are able to manage your study. Then if in case you are able to earn, then if you earn, that's okay. But don't hamper your primary duty for secondary thing. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण. Thank you.
प्रभु जी, मुझे भी एक दुविधा है।
हाँ, पूछिए.
मेरी दुविधा ये है, मैं आज सुबह अपने स्टूडेंट्स के साथ भी बोल रही थी, आई गेट अटैच टू माई स्टूडेंट्स, जिनको भी मैं पढ़ाती हूँ, जिस क्लास में जाती हूँ, देन दे स्टार्ट बॉदरिंग मी इन देयर माई माइंड। मैं उतना अपने बच्चों के, अपनी फैमिली के बारे में भी नहीं सोचती हूँ जितना मैं इन बच्चों के बारे में सोचती हूँ।
नहीं, ये तो अच्छा है, आप शिक्षक हैं, आपके अंदर बहुत अच्छी क्वालिटी है, क्योंकि गुरु का अर्थ ही है अपने जो छात्रों के विषय में सोचना। ठीक है,
बट गुरुजी वो मुझे अफेक्ट करता है, मेरी हेल्थ पे, मेरी मेंटल हेल्थ पे।
तो यू आर बिकॉज यू आर थिंकिंग यू आर द ओनर, ओनरशिप. ओके, so if you get out of this ownership mentality, things will be all right. लेकिन वो ये ना, कृष्ण सेज इन भगवद गीता दैट प्रकृते क्रियामानानि गुणे कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढ़ात्मा कर्ता हमिति मन्यते. So out of the false pride or prestige, false ego, we think we are the doer. Actually, we are doing in the three modes of material nature. Okay, so get out of this doership mentality. Just like the cashier we discussed yesterday.
तो वही काम करना चाहिए।
हाँ, वही, that is the only way. So you do your job. जैसे, I mean, for me, I also work in IT company. I also work in a bank. I mean,
yes.
I have to do so. I have to also perform this. So जैसे मैं लैपटॉप कंट्रोल और डिलीट शट डाउन मारता हूँ, देन आई स्विच ऑफ. मैं कौन हूँ, क्या हूँ, वहीं पे छोड़ के आ जाता हूँ मैं. कोई भी आए इशू, क्या करना है मेरे को, मैं तो यही सोचता हूँ, आई एम जस्ट कंसर्न विद माई सैलरी दैट शुड कम एंड आई एम ओनली कंसर्न विद 8 hours. अब उसको आग लग जाए, लॉस हो, मेरे को क्या करना है. So if that is the motive, you do your job and leave the rest, then you are peaceful. अगर मैं सोचता हूँ यार, अभी मेरे बैंक में बहुत सारे, my bank, they in US, they have done some transaction wherein 900 million rupees they have, transferred with a mistake. Somehow they did some mistake and it was transferred to some other person, and that person is not returning the money. Okay, तो अब मैं उसके बारे में सोचूं, अरे यार 900 करोड़ डॉलर जो है, चल 9,000 या 900,000 करोड़ कुछ तो डॉलर है, उतना डॉलर तो बैंक ने ट्रांसफर कर दिया, अब क्या होगा, मेरे को हाइक मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा. दैट इज नॉट माय कंसर्न. इफ इट्स कम इट कम्स, डजंट कम इट डजंट कम. वो गया, मेरे जेब से तो गया नहीं. So if you have that mentality that you are here to do your job and get out of it, what Lord is saying na 4:30 Bhagavad Gita, that karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Do your job, don't hanker for the result, then you will be peaceful. Otherwise,
because I joined this job for that purpose only, ki yes, I want to do something for the society, to be very honest. I have chosen this career only for that reason. Otherwise, I wanted to join the politics. My mother did not allow me.
okay,
She did not allow me to do the law. I wanted to do LLB.
okay.
Then I did MCA. Then after MCA, I thought instead of corporate, it is better to join the teaching.
No, so
through teaching, I can do something for the society. Now these students, they actually, because the students' conduct and behavior has been changed over the years. I started teaching 2001. Now it is 2020. There is hell lot of difference.
Correct.
तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे अब लगता है कि yes, now I am at that age where I should have control on my emotions when it comes to my students.
Yeah, correct. So don't get into, see, everybody get the see, we also understood that Lord is our ever well wisher, correct? So whatever we get according to our swabhava. So with this, ma'am, I'm damn sure you will not be able to do anything in politics. Okay. So
अभी तो मुझे feel लगता है because I was student leader, so that time it was the dream.
Yeah. So over the time, emotions also changes. When we are young, we are in the mode of passion. हमको ये करना है. But over the time, gradually, when we come in family life and we get into grahastha life, we have children and all, our emotions also trend down. क्योंकि हम ठीक है, चल रहा है. So that's how. So don't be too much attached. Just do as your job, and then you also have to understand the fact that you're also a housewife. You have responsibility with your kid, and this job is just a secondary thing. The primary thing is to take care of a family. Okay, so if you do that and do it as an offering to the Lord, yat karoshi yadashnashi yajoshi, do as an offering to the Lord, you are all right.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, anybody else who wants to ask the question? Vanshika, Urvashi, Pratham, Sahil, Utkarsh, Arohi, Prajna, Shikha.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayank, yes, please, beta, ask.
मैम मेरा क्वेश्चन है हरे ना
प्रभु
मेरा
जी को
क्वेश्चन मैम यही
साकेत।
था। हाँ सॉरी मैं वही भूल गया था।
हाँ
हाँ जय श्री कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हाँ प्रभु जी बताइए।
मेरा ये क्वेश्चन था आपसे कि जो आपने बोला योगा, तो मेडिटेशन जो है क्या वो एक्चुअल योगा होता है?
मेडिटेशन सोना होता है प्रोफेशनल तरीके से, ठीक है, क्योंकि जब हम आंख बंद करते हैं उसके बाद सिर्फ सोते हैं। जो असली मेडिटेशन जो अष्टांग योगा है उसमें एज आई टोल्ड, पता नहीं आपने सुना नहीं होगा, कि द रियल योगा इज दैट यू हैव टू गो टू सेक्लूडेड प्लेस wherein there is no disturbance. You have to sit on the deer screen and then your eyes should not be widely open. ऐसा बड़ा बड़ा आंख करके क्या कहते हैं उल्लू की तरह योगा नहीं कर पाएंगे आप। क्यों? जब बड़ा बड़ा आंख रहेगा तो आप देखोगे यार वो चल रहा है, वो जा रही है, अरे मेरा भाई जा रहा है, चाचा जा रहा है, तो फिर आप उसका थॉट, योगा मीन्स कंट्रोलिंग योर सेंसेस एंड डिजायर्स, मन को कंट्रोल करना है और इंद्रियों को संयमित करना है, तो उसको देखोगे। और आंख बंद करके योगा करोगे तो सो जाओगे, और फिर सो के जब उठोगे तो अच्छा लगता है ना सो के उठने के बाद। तो वही होता है आजकल, 5,000 रुपए हम देते हैं और फिर सो के उठते हैं, अरे बहुत अच्छा सेशन कराया, बहुत अच्छा, बहुत मजा आया, ठीक है। तो इसी के लिए फॉर डूइंग योगा पोस्चर मेडिटेशन यू हैव टू कीप योर आईज हाफ क्लोज एंड हाफ ओपन, and that is not feasible for the people of us in this yoga. So that's why in this Kali Yuga very simple meditation is there, and that is called as mantra meditation. Just you have to chant Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. That's it, and you get all the benefit of doing आंख बंद करके आंख खोल के योगा और ज्ञान योगा, whatever. It's very simple. Okay.
प्रभु जी मंत्रा में तो हम लोग कोई भी मंत्रा मतलब जाप कर सकते हैं ना, गायत्री मंत्र हो गया।
हाँ, तो मंत्रा में कोई भी मंत्रा जाप कर सकते हैं, लेकिन मंत्रा जैसे ये नाम है, ये we say mantra meditation, this is नाम, that is not mantra. So when you chant mantra there is certain rules and regulations. ओके, नहा धो के करना है, एक पर्टिकुलर पोस्चर में बैक करना है, ये टाइम पे करना है। इवन फॉर गायत्री मंत्र ऐसे रैंडमली नहीं आप वो जो चला देते हैं चलता रहता है। वी हैव टू डू अकॉर्डिंग टू द स्क्रिप्चर्स दैट इट कुड बी डन 3 संध्या, मॉर्निंग, आफ्टरनून एंड इवनिंग, एंड दैट टू यू हैव टू टेक बाथ। सो देख बात, हम एक बार नहीं नहा पाते, लोग जो लिस्ट्रिन मुंह में डालते, मंजन भी नहीं करते, लिस्ट्रिन डाला, थोड़ा सा फॉग वॉग मारा और सो के उठे, पकड़ के बस चल दिया, बस हाँ बहुत सही लग रहा है, और कुछ वो ओले ओले लगा लिया मुंह पे एकदम, ठीक है। सो दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव टू टेक द होली नेम। ओके,
थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? कोई और प्रश्न है किसी का?
Prabhuji, but how does this actually work? Just by chanting the mantras, does the sound has this energy, or is it something internal that we do?
So when we take the name of the Lord, so as I told, in spiritual context, spiritual level, there is no difference between the name and the person. नामी और नाम में कोई भेद नहीं है। So when we chant, जैसे मेरे को प्यास लगी है and I chant कोका कोला कोका कोला कोका कोला कोका कोला कोका कोला, तो मेरा प्यास बुझेगा क्या? And we will get bored. Okay, but since the name of the Lord is spiritual, Golokura Premadhan Hari Nam Sankirtan, that this holy name is from the transcendental world, this holy name. So when we chant Krishna, so regardless of whenever we chant Hare Krishna Krishna, how many ever every time, you will not feel bored. Okay, your mind will distract, but the feeling will not, you will not get the boring feeling, because the Lord, the super soul, is what? Satchidanand. He is full of bliss. Okay, and because he is bliss, his name is also blissful. So every time we chant, and what this chanting will done, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defines, he says that this chanting is cleansing of the heart, cheto darpan marjanam. So what it does is cleanse our heart, because our heart have so many impurities, lust, greed, pride, anger. So with the chanting, it's a subtle, we are not doing it on body level, we are doing it on soul level, correct? So ye ras malai or biryani or chapati, that is food of body. And what is food for soul? Name. Because as we said, what is yoga? Yoga is the process of reviving our eternal loving full relationship with the Lord, with the super soul. Okay, so this is on subtle level. Okay, and the effects you will see gradually. ये कोई ऐसा नहीं कि ये इसके एलोपैथी की तरह नहीं है कि दर्द हो रहा है ले एस्पिरिन खा और तेरा दर्द ठीक हो जाएगा, दर्द ठीक हो, नो, it's on subtle level, on the soul's level. So gradually cleansing will happen. Okay, तो everything takes time. जैसे अभी किसी का शादी हो, आज ही शादी हो और बीवी बोले या कोई पति बोले मुझे आज बच्चा चाहिए, that is possible? No, not possible. It takes at least 9 months for somebody to deliver a baby. So similarly, everything will process. So this mantra meditation is a process which will affect gradually on the subtle level. You will see the changes, but not physically, but in your behavior. Okay, make sense?
Yes, very much.
Okay, ठीक है. और किसी का कोई प्रश्न है?
Anybody else? So Prabhuji, on behalf of my college, my department, my students, principal and management, we are actually very grateful that you have conducted this course in our department, and I'm sure we are going to continue with this course in the coming semesters also. And as I told you, my HOD, he has already mentioned we wanted to take this course at our college level and at university level, where we should be the organizer and let other people also get the benefit of this. So I think students at this particular age, in this is the very crucial age of 18 to 21 year, and if they will be enlightened with our own roots and spirituality, that will definitely give them a better future and a peaceful life, and the world and the society would be more beautiful with such practices. This is what I feel, and on behalf of everyone, we all are very, very thankful to you, and we hope that very soon we will start the next course also with you only. And you will all, you are alumni of our Thakur college, so you are always welcome as and when the things would be what I feel would be normal. So we wish you to come and visit the college also.
Yeah, sure, sure. I mean, it's my pleasure, because I'm feeling very indebted to all of you, because you have been very kind listener, and especially to you and Anand sir, ma'am, because you are the one who gave this opportunity. So actually, I will tell you very frankly, I'm not a very learned person. Also, the knowledge itself is it's self-explanatory. So don't think I'm not a ज्ञानी बाबा. मैं कोई ज्ञानी बाबा नहीं हूँ. I'm a normal person, office going person. बस जो ज्ञान है that is already in Bhagavad Gita. What you have to do is in association of the people who are into it, you have to understand that, and you also can do. And my whole I will pray, I will pray to the Supreme Lord, that all of you become a preacher, all of you read it, you inculcate in your life. The other day we discussed what is the difference between an intelligent listener and a normal listener. Just 5 minutes. Okay, so all of you take your 5 minutes and think on it. So what you want to achieve, and and what you want to be, and if you take everything in right perspective, life becomes sublime. Otherwise, same situation are there. The only thing which makes difference between a person A and person B is the consciousness, and that consciousness and that thinking will come if you have a proper knowledge in place here in your head, in your intelligence. Okay, so I thank Thakur College and the management and the principal, everyone, for giving me this opportunity, and I will hope, and as ma'am is saying, I'm always ready to do whatever service you give me, and I'm always open. And being alumni of Thakur group of institutions, I feel very grateful. When I was a student, I used to come. It was my dream. Actually, it was my dream to be in. I was planning. Somehow I couldn't get in admission in Thakur Engineering College. I lamented for that, but I got engineering at Polytechnic. So it's a long story. But whatever happens is for good. That time I was very much what यार नहीं मिल रहा है क्या है कैसे. But then whatever happens for good. So I will I will pray. I mean, I will just simply request all of you with my folded hand, please take up this process, process of devotion service,
Yes.
and please just concentrate on it. Just try to understand the concepts, and don't deviate. Okay, don't deviate in your life. You will have long life, and if this is the right time, if you get the right knowledge and right perspective, your life will become sublime. And this is the time you will get lot of allurements. बहुत खराब चीजें करने के बहुत सारे allurement मिलेंगे. So I will say, even after hearing 6 days, 7 days course, you should try to mold your life in such a way that at least if you don't become devotee, okay, I mean, leave apart, but at least become good citizen who have values, who have ethics, who have morality. if you have all these qualities, there will be problems there. You will think, okay, वो दूसरा वाला बंदा तो गलत काम कर रहा था, बहुत आगे चला गया, but still I'm here only. But no, you will have eternal peace in your heart, and moreover you will not get karmic reactions, if we say in this perspective. So I'll humbly request all of you that please take up this process of devotional service, and also I will beg forgiveness. I would have spoken anything which would have not gone down well to any one of you, so I beg forgiveness at your feet. Please forgive me, and thank you, ma'am, again for giving this opportunity, and hope we will have this continued relationship.
Yes, we are going to continue this course in our department, in our college, and I'm sure all my students, they will spread the awareness. They will be the ambassador now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There
for
is a need
sure.
of.
And we all will practice whatever we have learned in this 6 days, and we are going to miss you for sure.
No, I am also
I
going to
was
miss such.
shocked. Our alarms were set.
We
Yes,
actually
you have
need more
to-
Yeah.
sessions like this.
Many of them don't even realize what they have missed who didn't attend the
Actually.
session.
So they
Thank
will
you,
be the
Prabhuji.
ambassador now.
Thank you, thanks a lot. And I will also miss, because you, all of you have been very nice listener. I've been to courses. What happens, when we started we had certain numbers, but it didn't draw very drastically, because this is not very, Bhagavad Gita and all is not a very spicy subject. मसाला नहीं है कुछ, कोई भाग नहीं रही है, कोई दौड़ा नहीं रहा है, कोई मार नहीं रहा है, कोई पीट नहीं रहा है, कुछ मजा नहीं आ रहा है इसमें. But all these people, students who are there, they are highly intellect, and I am very sure wherever they will go, they will spread this message, and they will themselves get benefited, and whatever whether they become devotional or not, but they will be a good citizen who will change the society. That's I'm very sure.
For
So
sure,
thank you.
Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So we'll
Hare
end the call. Hare Krishna. So
Hare
we'll just chant, whatever we learned, the pinnacle of everything is to chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram.
Ram, Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Prabhupada, Jai Shri Guru.